Chelsa, let's start with you. Where are you going for bet number one here?
Yeah, I am leaning on a player prop for my best bet of the weekend. I'm going to go with Marquise Brown, the receiver for the Arizona Cardinals, over 70.5 receiving yards against the Seahawks. And that's the starting point. You've got a high total in this one. 50.5 points is the total. So people are expecting a shootout. And here's the thing about the Cardinals. It doesn't matter what the game script is. They're going to be throwing the ball. In fact, if you look at the average pass attempts, when it comes to the Cardinals, 43 attempts per game. So the opportunity is certainly going to be there for Hollywood Brown, who leads the team in targets, and he's hit this over in 3 straight games with double-digit targets in each of the last 4 games. So I think he can get to this number of 70.5 against a Seahawks secondary that's allowed opposing receivers to have some huge games. Alvin Kamara of the Saints, who is not necessarily a receiver, but his receiving yards prop, I'm sure he hit the over because he had 91 receiving yards last time out against the Seahawks. TJ Hawkinson, a tight end for the Lions, had 179 receiving yards against the Seahawks. So maybe Zach Ertz worth a play too, as clearly they're not great at defending the tight end position. But still, I'm going to go with the most reliable guy in the receiving core for the Cardinals, the guy who's gotten the most targets to have the most yards. So let's go 70.5 receiving yards for Hollywood Brown of the Arizona Cardinals for -115 over at BetMGM.
Chelsa, I am still angry about losing both of my hockey bets last night. So I'm going to go with hockey first just because the rest of my bets are football, and football doesn't start until tomorrow for college, obviously. So let's go to the ice. Hurricanes at the Sharks tonight. Canes -200 on the money line. The Sharks are +165, I should say. Total set at 6. Few things here. Number one, I got to get a dub in hockey. Number two, this is a huge mismatch. Carolina, one of the favorites to win the cup for a reason. I expect them to absolutely dominate this matchup. The Sharks are already 0-2. They played their first 2 games in Prague, while Carolina came out blistering against Columbus on Wednesday, winning 4-1, racking up 43 shots. Doesn't matter to me if Frederick Anderson or Antti Ranta is between the pipes for the Canes. They have the depth, they have the firepower, and they have the defense to dominate this game. And they should. The money line too expensive, so guess what we're doing? Carolina, 3-way money line. They must win in regulation, -130 against San Jose.
This year, we need a between the pipe segment where you come on and you have a pipe and I have a pipe, and we have somebody come on and talk hockey. Are we going to do that this year?
A pipe? Ooh, I would love that. An actual pipe?
Yeah, a pipe, like one of those corncob pipes. Do people still use those?
Well, they should. We can bring them back. I'm all about tobacco. You know that. I talk about smoking all the time. And I can wear a velvet robe and act very sophisticated and talk about hockey. Chelsa, brilliant idea. Now, where's that 8-ball?
Here it is.
Holy crap. Magic 8-ball.
That's right. Time to ask the Magic 8-ball if he likes our plays this weekend. Let's start with mine. Marquise Brown over 70.5 receiving yards for -115 at BetMGM. Outlook not so good. Great.
That's fine.
Grand.
That's fine.
Wonderful.
We've been negative. We're not excited about going to the weekend. Neither is the 8-ball. Fantastic.
All right. Do we like... God, Jenks, what was your play? I gotta look.
Oh, my God. Are we doing...
money line.
Oh, are we doing this again?
Yep, it's hockey season in full effect.
Here we go.
Hurricanes 3-way money line -130 at the Sharks. Cannot predict now. Let's try again. 8-ball says signs point to yes.
Chelsa, can I just point out the fact that this was a problem all last season? We are less than a week into this year's season, and man, I mentioned stick and puck, our hockey, and you zone out completely.
I was thinking about pipes. What kind of pipe I wanted.
Oh, okay. You're thinking about tobacco. Fair enough. Okay. If you want to check out the Magic 8-ball, you certainly can. Just go to twitch.tv/BetQL. That is twitch.tv/BetQL. Chelsea's showing it off very quickly right now. Time now to bring in Double D because he has a monster parlay for us.
Put it lightly.
And now it's time for the Producer's Parlay on the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
It's not that monster. Come on. All right.
Okay.
I got these teams on the spread. Penn State +7 at Michigan. Kansas +9 at Oklahoma. Old Dominion +12.5 versus Coastal Carolina. UConn +9.5 at Ball State. Middle Tennessee State +8 versus Western Kentucky. UNLV +10 versus Air Force. On the money line, I have Tennessee +220 versus Alabama. USC +145 at Utah. And Washington State +145 at Oregon State. And finally, on a total, I take the two worst offenses probably in the Big Ten. Wisconsin at Michigan State under 49.5. Total odds, I love this number, by the way, 1776 to 1, $25 bet gets me $44,500 basically.
God bless you, Double D. Good luck, my friend. Again, 1776 to 1. God bless this country. All right, Chelsea, you got more bets to get to. I've got some, and then we got to bring the Donkster in. So what else are you going with this weekend?
I love how David goes with a parlay 1776 to 1. And meanwhile, I'm like, should I buy the hook? I think I'm going to go -130 instead because I am a conservative bettor. Yeah, I'm not taking big swings. I'm doing little check swings. I'm going for a swinging bunt. So next up for me, I'm going to go to the college sphere and I'm going to go Kansas +9. It sounds like this is very much a squad play. Kansas +9 at Oklahoma. I know that Kansas isn't going to have their starting quarterback at Jalen Daniels in this one. But Jason Bean filled in nicely in relief of him. And plus, he is the same style of quarterback. So practice has been pretty smooth. I'm on the radio in Wichita. They were talking about this, how Kansas doesn't even have to tweak their offense very much. And also, it's a fate of Oklahoma. 2-4 against the spread, only 1-3 against the number at home. They don't deserve to be laying 9 points. Let's go, Kansas.
Chelsea, give me your last play here, and then I will roll through mine.
Yeah, got to get going. The hurry up offense. Let's go. Kirk Cousins over 23.5 completions. He's hit this in every single game but one. And that was the very first game of the season in which he had 23. So missed it by the hook. He gets a matchup here against the Dolphins, who are allowing opposing quarterbacks to go off. Miami allows the second most fantasy points to quarterbacks who've combined to throw 8 touchdowns to only 1 interception. And it should be a great matchup for one of his best weapons in Justin Jefferson against a Miami secondary ranked 28th in DVOA. So I expect Justin Jefferson to have a big day and Kirk Cousins to keep feeding him the rock. So let's go Kirk Cousins over his completion prop, 23.5 for -120.
Chelsea, I am with you on that Kansas +9 play. So that is definitely a squad play like you said. Here are my other 2 plays. First, in the NFL, Bengals money line, -130 at the Saints. At some point, the Bengals have to start generating some sort of offense. And in every game that they've lost this season, they have lost on a last-second field goal. We keep talking about that Saints defense, how good it is. Is it? Look at the last 3 weeks. They give up 22 to the Panthers, 28 to the Vikings, 32 to the Seahawks. They're getting worse. Plus, the entire Saints roster is banged up. And remember, Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow is returning to the Superdome where he led LSU to a national championship. He's going to have a ton of fans there. Bengals laying only 2 points. They're 7-1 against the number in their last 8. I think there's value on the money line. Cincinnati, money line, -130 in New Orleans. Finally, a prop. Tommy Brady, over 274.5 passing yards at the Steelers. Look, early in the season, he played Dallas. He was playing without Chris Godwin. He was without Mike Evans for a game. Now Godwin is back. Evans is back. In his last 2 weeks, Tommy has thrown for 385 yards against the Chiefs and 351 yards against the Falcons. Now he faces the Steelers defense, second worst in the NFL against the pass. Tommy, over 274.5 passing yards at the Steelers this weekend. Time now for your BetQL 5-star best bet. For insight, analysis, historical trends, and more 5-star best bets, you can download the BetQL app. Donkster, you get to speak for a hot second. What are your bets this weekend? The Donkster says, Georgia Southern, James Madison, under 67, Arizona, -2.5 at Seattle. I want to go to Seattle. Well, you're going right back in the corner here.